Something really bad happened to me on Upwork, and I think I should share with the community. Will I say I got scammed? I made videos, I think 2 videos on this platform, teaching how not to get scammed on Upwork. But isn't it ironic that I got scammed? And I think to a degree, there is no escape to the scamming method that this scammer used. Because somewhat, Upwork didn't protect me as a freelancer in this context. I didn't really do anything that would have made scamming me possible. I did not collect money from the client outside of Upwork. I looked out to ensure that the client was verified, payment verified on Upwork. What else? The client sent me an offer and I accepted the offer before starting the project, and it is an hourly contract, so I was tracking it using Upwork timer. According to the hourly rate protection policy of Upwork, I fulfilled every one of them deliberately. I was intentional about that, but I still got scammed, and this is how it happens. First, the client named Veronica West. I sent a proposal for the job and the client responded, and I was happy about that. It's a video editing job. The client sent me the footages for the project, sent me the description of how he or she, I don't know, Veronica sounds like a feminine name, how she wants me to go about editing the project. And I was like, oh, this is a pretty simple project. It's editing of a podcast, a 1 hour long podcast, removing the dead airs, adding some effects and all of that. I was like, oh, I edit podcasts for people. I've edited podcasts for a couple of podcasters in the US and some popular YouTubers. I was happy to take on the project. Then I started working on it, then send it to the client. The client was impressed. The hourly rate was reading and the client can see it. After sending that to the client, I completed the work, uploaded it to Google Drive, and then send the link to the client, which is how I typically work. I cannot upload video files directly to Upwork because Upwork does not allow more than, I think, 25 megabytes or 40 megabytes. There is hardly any video that will be 25 or 30 megabytes. So I uploaded the video and sent it to the client. The client was like, oh, this is cool. Then the client asked that I do, after editing the longer session, okay, that I made some correction, that they like the effects on the video, that I should send the project file, then asked me to make some slight correction, which I did. I sent it to the client. The client was like, oh, this is good. And the client asked me, okay, to cut out 20 shots from the video, which I did. Then the client asked me to cut out mid-range video length, 10 to 15 minutes from the 1 hour video and remove the irrelevant part. I did that. The amazing thing is, like, the work I put in on that video, to be sincere with you guys, I don't even put it on the videos I do on my own channel. So when I was done with that, I sent the job to the client, and the client was like, oh, Sunday, are you open to another project? Since it's an hourly rate and my work time sheet on Upwork is filled, so like more work, more money. So I kept working on the project. So when he sent me another project, it's more like a faceless YouTube channel style of video. So I did that too. And when I was done doing that, I shared it with the client. The client was impressed. By this time, I was already supposed, it's like a week plus. It took like about a week and a half. For the first week, the money has moved from in review to pending. And the money was supposed to be paid out to me too, as opposed to move to available. And that was what I was expecting, so I can get the payment. I have already worked even for the other week, and that one was in review. Then suddenly one of these days, I checked my phone and I got a notification that I approved a reversal, approved a refund. So the money that was already in pending, that was supposed to move to available, went back to the client. Then I got this message from Upwork. Upwork detected that the client was fraudulent. The client was doing maybe like a form of cashback scam. That means, like, after they've paid Upwork, either they use a fake credit card. I don't know how they do that exactly. They use a fake credit card. The personality Veronica West was a scam, was a pseudonym for the actual person. Upwork could not get their money from the client because maybe the person can also report to their bank, sort of, maybe like that they've been scammed by Upwork, or they've been scammed, or I don't know what they will do, so that their bank can reverse the money to them. That way Upwork didn't get the money. And Upwork acknowledged in the email they sent to me that the client is fraudulent. You can see it here. The client being fraudulent, who pays for this? Remember, Upwork has a policy of hourly rate protection, that if anything happens, if anything goes south, Upwork is guaranteeing you as a freelancer that you will be settled. But that was not what happened. Upwork was playing a blame game on me. What have I done wrong? I have only offered my service, followed your policy, every single one of them. I look at the condition for hourly rate protection. I didn't breach any. So Upwork said that I think we should just look at it here. I was just like, wow, so Upwork is trying to blame me, find a way to blame me. I think that message Upwork sent to me is somewhat generic. There is no way that is a real message personalized for me. There's no, but I think they should check. Charging $30 per hour is my normal hourly rate, so I was not overcharging the client. You can track my mouse movement. You can see my screen. You took random screenshots of my screen. What else could I have done? I actually worked on that project. And after like 5 days of working on that project, I was working both day and night. Sometimes I had to use water to wash my face, put my leg in water to ensure that I'm able to meet the deadline. My internet was bad. I drove out of my house, go to other streets, go to other places just to ensure the video gets uploaded. But Upwork is not seeing all this. The hourly rate protection does not really count. Or what is the essence of the hourly rate protection that Upwork advertises, that Upwork emphasizes, that Upwork talks about? Now it's a time when I need hourly rate protection. They say I did not meet the condition for hourly rate protection. I checked the conditions for hourly rate protection. I think I meet all. But I feel maybe like the money was much and Upwork does not want to spend that. I would totally understand if there was no hourly rate protection policy. That hourly rate protection thing, is it just a paper tiger? Is it just something Upwork put there to fool us? Do we really get that? I understand Upwork didn't make money from that particular project, but it's more like an insurance. All the money you've been getting from us, from proposals, you decided to have that policy in place, which is very reasonable and considerate. But the whole essence of that policy is defeated. I have counted my loss somewhat, but the podcast has a name. The company that podcast is for has a name. That is K-Sense Technology. I sent a message to the 3 persons that are in the podcast. I sent a message to the 3 persons in the podcast, asking them, explaining the situation to them, that I was scammed by somebody in your company, whosoever is handling the editing of that podcast for K-Sense Technology has scammed me because the person did not make due payment. I got response, and the response is that I should send screenshot. I didn't want to send screenshots to them because I knew I'm going to call them out. I knew I'm going to take some steps to get, maybe not even to get back my money, but to make them regret this. Because there is no way this company don't know who is in charge of their podcast. I reached out to David too, and David was like, oh, they don't know who Veronica West is. I understand you don't know who Veronica West is, but you guys are the ones in the videos. That is very mischievous. If you are protecting the Veronica West, it's likely, I actually have my reasons to suspect that David is Veronica West. I actually feel the pain of working on videos and not getting paid, but I gain the experience, and the videos, I know what to do to them. There's no way that these 3 persons that I messaged, the 3 persons in the podcast, don't know who is in charge. I messaged the CEO of the company, and good, to be fair to him, good that he responded, but I don't think he is sincere. I don't think he's sincerely trying to help. They don't give a shit about the fact that somebody has scammed me in their name, which actually gives me a strong indication that they know about the scam. And one of the most painful things is that there's a likelihood that I am not the only one they are doing this to. Because for the Faceless YouTube channel, I've observed that I edited the chapter 1. I didn't edit the complete video. I edited like the chapter 1 part of the video. There must be chapter 2, chapter 3, and some editors must have been given that to do. on Upwork and they must have experienced the same fraudulent stuff with Veronica West that also worked for K-Sense Technology. So K-Sense Technology knows whosoever this Veronica West is. David or one of them messaged me and say they contracted the project out to somebody, that the person that reached out to me must have been the one that scammed me. That is possible. That is possible if they are sincere. But at least we should know the identity of that person. Even if you had hired the person on Upwork, we should know the identity of that person and they should be willing to help me with the person, knowing that that person scammed me, knowing that that person did not pay. And that person is scamming more and more freelancers out there on Upwork. Because Veronica West is anonymous, he would just need to create another profile the same way and use the same method he has used and continue get. And I feel K-Sense might actually know who Veronica West is. If the person's real name is not Veronica West, I suspect that that is David. I'm actually taking my own actions against them. Thanks for viewing this video. I think Upwork needs to do better in terms of protecting freelancers. Or what do you think?